Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cities in Motion. I am deeply humbled that you guys have decided to come once again, because in this episode, well, it is sad to say, but in this episode, it is our last. And we will have to say goodbye to the glorious city of River City. But before I forget, in this episode, we will go ahead and take a look at what I have done off camera, for one, and go ahead and take a look at each one of our individual lines, following a distinctive bus on a single one of those lines, and we'll be wrapping it off there. So, quickly, what I did off camera is that I created two water bus routes. Now, the first one of them is just one that goes back and forth between here. Okay, it's not too bad. It's going to be pretty unprofitable because it's just servicing this apartment building over here and these ministry buildings over here. I also added in these tram routes, which, they're not too bad. They're just little shuttle lines that I decided to place in. We had enough money to have them, so I decided to place them on in. And then if we come all the way down over to here, I created another water bus route. This one just goes from this hotel over to this shopping center and then over to this tenant. Okay? Just as a small little route. Nothing too special. And I decided to let line 1 of the tram lines, the line that just goes around this area, go ahead and start running. Okay? As you can see, where is the tram? The tram for tram 1 is right there. And I also decided to upgrade all of the tram lines to have these newer ones on them. These are the Lewis and Viro X, which they can carry 36 people, as you can, or 34 people, my bad, just one number off. And they are actually pretty good. Aside from that, that is pretty much all that I have to show. It may not seem like much, but frankly, it's enough to let you guys know what I have done off camera. Now, aside from that, what else have I done? Not too much. As you did know in the last episode, since it was quite long, which I wasn't meaning for it to be as long as it was, it ended up being about an hour, and we just decided to create the routes that connected all the metro lines with each other. So it was pretty easy and self-explanatory. I don't really have much to do as far as like optimize those routes or something like that. But what we will be doing is taking a look at each individual line. So first, let's go ahead and go over to line 5. Starts over here at the city center, and frankly, at the city center alone, it has well over a number of buses or bus passengers waiting for it. So that is something that I could wait for, but frankly, I don't have time to. Oh, and apparently a fire is burning down right over here. That's not a bus for line 5. Line 5 right there. So we're just going to follow this bus to let it continue upon its route. And I'm going to do it on 2 times speed just so that we were not wasting too much time at each one of the individual stops. Damn, that's a lot of people. Well, not as many as there is over at City Hall. And how many people are waiting here? 15 for line 5. That's not too bad. Is the fire department going to take care of that? Because it's definitely burning too much. And none of my buses can get through because of the fact that the fire truck right there is causing it so that way no one gets through. Ain't that just lovely? Well, aside from that line, let's go and move on. Line 6, which is the Indy Shuttle, is what it was named appropriately as. And it just simply goes around this little circuit right here, which will then comes back to line 11 and 16 and 17. Line 7 is frankly the one of the shortest lines, I would say. Well, not really short, but something similar to at least. Just comes by this city hall for Rathas. Then comes by this ministry building on both sides. Then comes by these apartment buildings on both sides, and then heads straight on through here, onto the freeway, over by this parking garage and cinema, where it meets up right over here. That's actually a lot of people. Comes down here to by the hotel, and then just simply goes all the way over to the railway station. Line 8, which starts from over here, over near the Catherine Sud. Sorry if I'm butchering these names. Sudvostat, I think that's how you pronounce it. Catherine Sudrustat Church and Cathedral. Comes down this road, goes by the university, then goes up this avenue, goes by the golf club, comes back down up this avenue, and continues its way through this like roundabout type thing, past this stop, and comes back to right over here. Pretty easy. Then the office line, which starts over again in the same area, but at the Catherine de Sudestat. And just comes up this way, goes up here past the city hall area, and then just keeps on going into this like little office complex type area. Okay, then we have the festival line, which is basically an express line going from this parked area with the theater, going past here, going past the stadium as well. And then just heads up here, meets up with all the tram lines, and then it heads up to the what's the name of this? The Wadbach railway station. Okay, line 11 goes from this industrial area right over here, all the way past here, and then meets back up at the Wadbach railway station. Then the Wallblock shuttle, which just simply goes along here, meets up, or just kind of covers this area as so. Okay. And then the B17 Express, which we decided to revamp and create two separate lines off of. B17 Express being that it comes from this metro station down here, just comes down the B17 and simply comes back over to the railway station. Then last of all, we go back to Nitwig over here, loops around there, and then comes up here to the airport, which is pretty self-explanatory. Then the Rotterdam and why do I call it Carl? The Rotterdam and oh, I know why. The Karl Max Alley metro stop. Huh. Okay. And just simply glides along here and meets up at the city center. That's one of the lines that we created for the metros. Next up is the line that connects the industrial park over to the railway station, one of the smallest lines on our network. Line 17, which it basically goes from the airport down here on the Verden Straße, comes down here along the B8, which then comes to this industrial park. And then, let's scroll down the lines menu. Line 18, which connects our railway station over here. Up this way, past this metro station. Up here, past the automotive plants. And over to the FA terminal. Okay. Line 19, which connects the same area, the FA terminal, past the Bushweg metro station, all the way along here, and meets up at the city center, which is frankly self-explanatory. And then the Carl Stadion route, which goes from the railway station of Hofbahnhof Mitte, goes along here, past the amusement park, and then just simply meets back up over to here. Pretty self-explanatory. Line 21, oh, come on, goes from the Stadion down here to Nitwig, and simply just goes around this plaza right over here type area. Then line 22, Binnenhofen, which is one of the circular routes that goes through this industrial park, through this like little residential town type area, and then comes back around to the railway station. Well, that's the clockwise version. And then this one is the counterclockwise version, where it just goes in the opposite direction. Okay. And then last bus line, line 24, goes over here from Nitwig, past this little roundabout right here, up to here. This is kind of like this is the line for what was known as the shopping line or shopping quest. Our tram lines, which our first tram line is literally this like little shuttle line that goes along this little area or neighborhood or residential area, whatever you like to call it. And then line 2 goes around the same area but heads up to the railway station. Okay. Line 3, let's just head over to here, is one of the newer tram lines that I added. And frankly, it doesn't have too many passengers waiting for it at all on both occasions. Okay. Line 4 is basically the same thing, but in the opposite direction. Okay. Like right there. And then one of our longest lines, which is our metro line that is completely submerged underground. Let me just go ahead and get into, not that, underground view here. Comes along here past what I call the posh housing area, which is called Am Forest. Comes down here by Bushweg. Okay. And then comes past, I believe this one is the city center, if I remember correctly. Yes, I am. Okay. Yes, I did remember correctly. Good. Then comes by, I believe this is the railway station. Yeah, the railway station over here. Then comes down here by the stadium, I believe. I believe so. No, it actually goes by the amusement park first. Then it goes by the stadium. Okay. Then continues down and meets up at Nitwig. And then finally goes to the airport. Okay. The water bus lines, which I did off camera, I will go ahead and show right now. If I can go ahead and get to them easily. Goes from this hotel over to this shopping center and then over to this tenant building over here. Okay. And then line 2 is frankly the shortest line out of all of our lines, which basically goes from the ministry buildings over to this apartment complex island type thing. Okay. And then the last but not least, let me go and hide that. Last but not least is our helicopter lines, which they simply go from this like office type area over to the golf club. Okay. Then line 2 goes from the golf club over to the railway station over here. And then line 3 connects the railway station over with the offices. Okay? And that is all of our lines. Now, to finish off, I'm going to go ahead and quickly show you guys the budget estimates. We make about $6,000 a month, so frankly, we have nothing to worry about as far as money is concerned. And that's all good there. As well as we do have these 3 loans out right now. Currently, they are still being paid off. This one being our biggest loan that we currently have. In fact, pay off that one, and heck, pay off that one. Just that way we go down to only 1 loan. Our energy consumption is very minimal. I try to make sure that energy stays down to as low as possible. True, it cannot be like that all the time, but heck, it happens. Our company policy. Ooh, apparently lots of people don't like our policies right now. Okay, so I'm gonna lower the price a little bit. So there's that. We don't have any advertising going on. We've never done any advertising, so that's something we're gonna completely be oblivious to. Then customer profiles. That's just people that may have approached us with something other than a quest. So there's that. I'll quickly go to 3 times speed here, just so that way that negative number pops off, just because of the fact that we paid off our monthly loans. And as far as the routes are concerned, or as far as money is concerned, I should say, the coverage of services are about 42% of the city. Now that may not seem like a lot, but of what we have covered, I'll go ahead and quickly show you guys where we have covered. Okay. This is our completed network on the map, which I am going to go ahead and quickly show you guys in full zoom on in. And as you can tell, there's not much as far as like expansion that we can do now. Like, we already have plenty of coverage, like along the B17, along the B8, plenty of places where we have coverage. So there's not much more to expand to. True, we can expand down to here to like this industrial area, and we can expand up to here, or even these farming towns or something like that, or maybe even over here. But there wouldn't be much success for us. Okay, so the population of the city is simply all said and done. There's not much we can basically say about that. And okay, the monthly profit has always been going up and down. The highest that we've ever made was what, about like close to 7,000 in a month. We have made close to 22,000 in a month, so there's that. And then our company reputation is at 60%, which we can see right here. We're moderate with all of our ranges. Total debt is only at 27,000, which is fairly good. And then our company value has been skyrocketed from like a measly 10,000 up to a quadruple, or even an astonishing 180,000. Okay? Then the economy has been pretty good. Unemployment rate went fairly well. We had dropped it down so much that at a point we were down to almost 3%. Okay, that's what it looks like to me right there. Okay? But right now we're just at 12%. The private motoring is about 8% of the city, so that's very good. So we know that there's a lot of people in the city alone that want to use our line, so there's that. And then our city population over time has just stayed the same because this is a custom-made map that was given out as part of a competition to everyone. Fuel prices were at their highest, I believe, 2 years ago. I know, actually, within the past 24 months. So actually, less than 18 months ago was when the fuel prices were the highest. So there's that. And then our economy growth has been pretty steady. Nothing too special going on there. And now for the last thing that I keep on showing you guys but never really explaining is our roster of all of our vehicles and stops. As you can tell, all of our buses are doing pretty well. In fact, what is our most profitable bus? It is one of our buses on line 20. Okay, that's kind of coincidental. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. As far as trams, our most profitable is on line 2, which kind of makes sense. And then metros, our most profitable one is Metro 2, which is the second one that we bought. And then water bus, both of them aren't really making any profit except for the one that's on line 1, maybe on occasion. And then our helicopters, the one that has made the most profit is helicopter 1, that is on line 1. So there's that. And then the most amount of passengers, sort by attractiveness, no. Average wait time, no. Passengers handled. The stop that has the most passengers handled is, wow, okay, that's surprising. Over here on the Ministry Island is what I'm going to call it. And at these apartment buildings. That is surprising. I never would have expected that. Okay, that's good to know. And then the second highest is at the golf club, so that makes sense. And then the third highest is at the railway station for Binnenhofen. And then I believe this one, okay, this one's just right next to it. And the same one right next to it. And then where is this one at? This one is right over in near the city hall. And then this one is the city hall, okay. And this one is where? Right over by the cinema. Okay, that makes sense. So these are our top bus stops that we have ever had. And then as far as for trams, the bus stop that has the most, or that had the most passengers carried from it, is our railway station, which makes sense. As far as metro stops, the one that has the most is, over by the, as I called it, the posh housing area. So that's good to know. And then the second most, where is that? Airport. Okay, that makes sense. Third most is at the railway station. Okay, that works perfectly. As far as water buses are concerned, these numbers aren't going to be too high, but they'll be good nonetheless. The highest one is over near the tenant building. Okay, so that's good. And in helicopters, the highest one is over at the office complex. Okay, that makes sense. And then the second highest being over at the railway station, and then the third highest, of course, being at the golf club, which makes sense. And that is frankly it, everyone. Let me go ahead and check the bank. Only 15,000 on that left. I wonder, can I take care of that this month? Maybe. will be able to take care of it. Actually, yeah. True, that does lower our money by a lot. But heck, that is all well said and done. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this series. I do highly appreciate it for all the support that has been given on this series. I do also want to ask you all a quick question. In the little, in the top right-hand corner of your screen, a little eye icon is about to appear. And what this eye icon will do is that it's going to pop up a poll. What series do you want to see next on the channel? Now, I have had plenty of people on the Discord server that I'm on, or many Discord servers that I'm on, ask me why not do a like City Skyline series or Transport Fever series. I have done that before. Okay? If you check out back on my channel, I have done it before. The City Skyline series was using the train scenario, which I ended up stopping after the 6th episode because of the fact that... Was it the 6th episode? Let me check real quick. Why the heck am I forgetting the amount of episodes that I have ever recorded? That is extremely weird to me. Let me check here. Kind of unprofessional to do this in a video. I wish that I had this off the top of my head. So I did about... How many... what episode was that one? Episode 6 was the last one that I did. And, frankly, that was not too bad. I would like to do City Skylines again, but again, I do have to wait till I get a graphics card update, because City Skylines is very graphics intensive. Yeah. And I could go back to doing Transport Fever, because when I did that series, it was on a large map, and frankly, I was getting about 10 frames a second when I was doing that map. So I think that if I were to do Transport Fever again, I would have to do it on either a medium or small map. I could do an experimental size and do a tiny map, but that would only be 2 towns that I would be doing. But nonetheless, that's all as far as that is concerned. But if you have any other suggestions, please do go and let me know in the comments down below. And thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next series.